They say the first one is the most difficult to get. Whether it be a hit, a goal, a basket, mom's freshly baked cookies, that pressure to simply get the train moving can sometimes bring complications to athletes and/or teams. For the Detroit Pistons, they're struggling to get their first win. Their obvious inability to hang on to a lead late in games had did them in on all of their first 3 games of the season. After facing the New Jersey Nets in their first game at the new Prudential Center, followed by playoff teams the Oklahoma City Thunder and Chicago Bulls, the opponent did not get any easier for the Pistons as they arrived at the Palace last night, as they took on the NBA championship contending Mean Green Machine representing the City of Beans, the Boston Celtics. Picking it up in the second quarter, Boston's up 5. Ray Allen finds Kevin Garnett. I'm all by myself, I shall dunk. First half winding down, Paul Pierce finds Rajon Rondo. I'm all by myself, I shall shoot. That bucket at the buzzer gives Boston the 57-44 lead at the half. Things did not get any better for Detroit in the second half. KG takes the young and Austin Day to school, spinning baseline for the fadeaway. And off a Garnett rebound, Rondo leads the break, shoveling the pass to Pierce for the boom drop. Boston basically toyed with Detroit all night long, winning in dominating fashion, 109-86. Garnett led all scorers with 22 points, along with corralling 6 boards and blocking 2 shots. With his 17 assists last night, Rajon Rondo has accounted for the most assists in the first 4 games of the season in the history of the NBA, with 67. That's an average of just under 17 per game. Charlie Villanueva led the Pistons with 17 points, and Austin Day added 16. The Pistons will not have to wait long for their search for their first victory of the season as they travel to face the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock. A scary bit of news coming from one of the Detroit Tigers greats. The Detroit News first reported a few hours ago that the health of former Tiger manager Sparky Anderson has taken a serious turn for the worse. According to a message released by his family, Anderson has been experiencing complications resulting from dementia. The 76-year-old Hall of Fame manager guided the Tigers to the 1984 World Series championship. And with 1,331 victories with the Tigers, he is Detroit's all-time winningest manager. Keeping it on the Tigers, the organization announced yesterday that they have declined to pick up Johnny Peralta's club option for the upcoming 2011 season. By declining the $7.5 million option, Peralta will now be considered a free agent. With that being said, both the Tigers organization and Peralta are still very interested in making a deal that would keep Johnny wearing the Old English D. The shortstop hit .253 in 57 games for Detroit last year. Contracts can officially be offered on December 2nd. So the Tigers are beginning to shape up their plans for the upcoming season.
So how do you think this move will affect Tigers coming up this next season?
Well, I think it's a smart move. By declining the option, the Tigers are going to try to re-sign him for less money, freeing up more money for them to spend on the free agents that they desperately need, an outfielder, Carl Crawford or Jason Worth, or pitching, or a DH, Adam Dunn possibly. So I think it's a good move. Dave Dombrowski definitely knows what he's doing, and I'm very excited to see what they will do this winter.
Me too. Well, we'll find out on December 2nd.
Yep. Congratulations to the Rangers, making me look a fool, as I did not pick them to win a single series, yet alone the American League pennant. At least I could rely on the National League. With both of my picks, the Giants and Phillies, advancing to the NLCS, I was looking squeaky clean like I bathed in scrubbing bubbles. Then the series began, and all of a sudden, San Fran felt like playing like their name suggests, like Giants, and the Phillies forgot what to do with that wooden stick in their hands. My World Series champion pick, Philadelphia, was looking worse by the inning. With a trip to the World Series within grasp and my credibility on the line, the Giants looked to clinch the National League pennant in Game 6. Jonathan Sanchez looking to close it out for the Giants. Starting in the bottom of the first, Chase Utley rips one into right field. His double brings in former Tiger Placido Polanco, and the Phillies take an early 1-0 lead. Bottom third, tied at 2's Chase Utley up again. He takes a fastball to the back from Sanchez. Watch closely as Utley retrieves the ball and tosses it back to Sanchez. Sanchez did not take light to that, gives Utley a piece of his mind. Utley appears very confused by it all. What did you say about my mother? And oh, it is time to get down with the get down. Bench is clear, but no punches were thrown. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th for Shane Victorino, but Madison Bumgarner gets Vic to ground out to him. San Fran relievers excellent on the night. Top 8th, Juan Uribe. Pasquale! Uribe takes the air out of Citizen Banks Park with this home run to put the Giants up 3-2. Last chance for the Phils, 2 on for Ryan Howard. He takes strike 3. Great Odin's Raven. The Giants surprised the world, beating the Phillies for the National League pennant and a date with the Texas Rangers in the World Series. Game 1 of the series sees Cliff Lee against Tim Lincecum. First pitch is Wednesday at 8 p.m. They are the Yankees to our Red Sox, the Celtics to our Lakers, the Buckeyes to our Wolverines, the Tar Heels to our Blue Devils, the Little Brothers to, well, us. They are the Western Michigan Broncos. Central Michigan got to host the heated Central Western weekend this year, leaving the Broncos feeling like the redheaded stepchild when they got off the bus in Mount Pleasant. CMU has earned the right to call Kalamazoo's finest their little brother over the recent years, having defeated them every year since 2005. Back when Mariah Carey was singing to everyone willing to listen that we belong together, and actress Gwyneth Paltrow and singer Chris Martin welcomed their daughter to the world by naming her Apple. Poor girl. Yes, it has indeed been a while since Western defeated Central. The two hit the field on Friday and added another classic game to this bitter rivalry. Coach Eno's getting his players revved up. Picking it up in the third quarter, Western up 2. Quarterback Alex Carter finds Juan Nunez. The touchdown puts the Villain up 22-13. Never fear, Carl Volney is here as he pounds in the 1-yard touchdown to close the gap to 22-20. Time winding down, Ryan Radcliffe finds Keto Pobla in the end zone. This touchdown puts Central ahead 26-22. On Western's next possession, a fumble. Armand Staten forces the fumble, Joe Kinville recovers, and Central defeats Western for the 5th straight season, 26-22. The rivalry did not only partake in the football game over the weekend, the hatred between the Chippewas and Broncos hit the soccer field as well. And this one had higher implications than just bragging rights and my dad could beat up your dad. This one had MAC Tournament Championship on the line. Not only that, but a trip to the NCAA tournament as well. And to go along with the spirit of the weekend, the Chippewas defeated Western Michigan 3-1. Ashley Mahila, Laura Tweedle, and Charlize McLemore scored Central's goals. Shea Menino had 3 saves to earn the victory. The NCAA tournament bracket has just been released, and Central will be taking on 3rd-seeded Marquette in the first round in Marquette. High school football now, beginning with Mount Pleasant taking on St. John's. The Oiler offense was near perfect on the afternoon as Ryan Elliott finds Colton Audekirk for the grab. This sets up Alex Horton going untouched in the end zone to put Mount Pleasant up 14-0. Mount Pleasant continuing to have full control of the game, busting out some trickeration, pulling the end around and running until they don't need to anymore. That puts them up 28-0. The defense for Mount Pleasant was superb all game long, preserving the 28-0 shutout. The Oilers now host Cadillac on Saturday. The Detroit Lions and Pistons both had the same goal in mind in their respective games yesterday. They were both trying to go streaking. No, Will Ferrell, this isn't old school. Rather, the squads were both trying to do something that either one of them haven't done this season, win 2 games in a row. The Lions had their first crack at their attempt to make yesterday's streaking Sunday, hosting the New York Jets. Picking it up in the third quarter, tied at 10, Jason Hansen connects on the field goal, but oh, naughty, naughty, you can't do that. Trevor Price gets called for roughing the kicker. Detroit gets a fresh set of downs. Very next play, Matt Stafford fools everyone in the building, cameraman included, taking in himself for the score. Hansen was hurt on the roughing call, so send out the backup, all 307 pounds of him. Indomakong Su tries the extra point. The ball instead decided to take a turn to Shank City. That miss was big as the Jets were able to tie it up to send the game in overtime. In OT, Mark Sanchez finds Santonio Holmes for a 52-yard reception. The catch sets up Nick Folk for a chip shot 30-yard field goal. It's not quite Thanksgiving yet, but it was all gravy here for New York. The field goal gave New York the 23-20 victory. The Lions fell to 2-6 on the season. They traveled to Buffalo on Sunday to take on the Bills. Kickoff is set for 1 o'clock. In my first year of playing baseball, my team went 2-15. To this day, it was the worst team I've ever played for. We lost our last 10 games. For my 7-year-old self, that was Little League. For Central Michigan, this is college football. And even though I cried after every single one of those 10 losses during that streak, a losing streak stings a lot worse at this level. The Chippewas have lost their last 5 games, a streak that has seen it all from blowouts to games lost on the last possession. Looking to put an end to the nightmare streak on Halloween weekend, Central hosted Bowling Green on Saturday afternoon. Central was leading 14-10 late in the game, but Paris Cotton fumbled the ball on the Bowling Green 41-yard line with 2:30 left in the game. Bowling Green marched down the field, and 59 yards later, Bowling Green's Jordan Hopgood scored the game-winning touchdown for Bowling Green with 21 seconds left. Central now turns their attention to Western Michigan in the rivalry game Friday night at 6. The number 3 seeded Central Michigan soccer team hosted the 6th seed Northern Illinois in the opening round of the MAC tournament yesterday afternoon. The Chippewas were able to apply pressure to the Huskies' freshman goalie Amy Carr the whole game and came away with the first round victory 2-1. Junior defender Claire Horton and sophomore Laura Twiddle accounted for Central's goals. The Chippewas now travel to play Miami of Ohio in Toledo in the semifinals of the tournament. Senior goalkeeper Shea Menino and sophomore defender Bailey Brandon have been named to the COSIDA ESPN The Magazine All-District 4 Academic Third Team. Menino was the all-time leader in the Mid-American Conference and Central Michigan history in shutouts with 31 and goals against average, which currently stands at .69 goals per game. She has a 3.82 grade point average with a major in elementary education. This is the 3rd time Menino has received this honor. Brandon, who boasts a perfect 4.0 GPA, has started 15 of the Chippewas' 19 matches on a defense that has posted the 7th best shutout percentage at about 63% and the 8th best goals against average at about half a goal per game in the nation. The team continues its quest for another MAC tournament championship as they take on Miami of Ohio in the semifinals of the tournament on Friday in Toledo, Ohio at 11 a.m. The Beale City High School volleyball team opened Class D district play Monday with a 25-15, 25-14, and 25-15 sweep over Fulton at Fowler. Heather Griffiths led the Aggies, who improved their record to 42-7 with 12 kills and 10 digs. Morgan Galinsky contributed 9 kills and 13 digs. Maria David chipped in with 6 kills, 6 blocks, and 7 digs. Beale City will take out Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart in the district semifinals. That match will take place Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. So I don't know about you girls, but I am very excited for the upcoming basketball seasons and the new arena as well.
I know, it should be really interesting to see what it looks like after
Absolutely.
a year of construction, has it been?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Mike Babcock and the Detroit Red Wings played home opening opponent to the Phoenix Coyotes Saturday night, picking up in the first period off the face-off. Martine Hangel throws a wrister into the goal. Phoenix strikes first. In the second period, Pavel Datsuk fires wide but gets his own rebound and scores as well. The score is now tied at 1. In overtime now with seconds remaining, Nicholas Cronswell finds the back of the net. Detroit escapes with a 2-1 victory. They are now 3-1-1 on the early season. Their next game is Thursday against the Calgary Flames. After Cody Ross and the San Francisco Giants surprisingly got to Roy Halladay and the Phillies Saturday night in Game 1 of the NLCS, Philadelphia found themselves in a position not many thought they would be, down. But never fear, Roy Oswalt is here, and Oswalt was dealing. Mike Fontenot, what are you doing? Andres Torres, swing and a miss. Freddie Sanchez, why don't you take a seat? Oswalt goes 8 innings and 9 strikeouts. He made 1 mistake all night. Here it is. Cody Ross goes bomzo again for his 3rd home run of the series to tie the score at 1. Bottom 7 with the bases loaded. Jimmy Rollins to the plate. He hits a shot to deep right center. The ball stays in the park, unloading the bases. All 3 runners score to put the Phillies up commandingly 6-1. Top 9 runners on the corners for Edgar Renteria. The former Tiger grounds out to Rollins, and the Phillies win by the score of 6-1 to even the series at 1 apiece. After an off day today, the 2 teams return to action tomorrow night in San Fran with a great pitching matchup between Cole Hamels of the Phillies and Matt Cain of the Giants. First pitch is scheduled for 4:19.